Hi, good afternoon. I'm Krupa from Seven Sense Talent Solution. Today I'm here to brief you all about the web development course. Yeah, let me do the share screen. Yeah, why we are using the web development? What is the meaning of web development? Yeah, first of all, let me brief you about the web development. Yeah, what do you mean by web development? It refers to the process of creating websites or web applications which is accessed or which is done with the internet. It includes everything from a building from simple website to the complex websites. Yeah, moreover, in web development, we are having front end development, middleware development, and back end development. Coming to the front end development is a part where we should be look after here. Yeah, in the front end development, it is called as client side development. What it means? It means it involving the web pages or designing the web pages layout, structure, and interactive features which makes the users to see and interact with the web pages, where web development is called as front end development and it is the client side development. In web technology we are having three languages. What are those? HTML, CSS, and JS. Yeah, coming to the HTML, it is abbreviated as Hypertext Markup Language, which defines the structure of the web pages. And the next one is CSS. It is called as Cascading Style Sheet, where the elements we are using the HTML elements and playing with the font size, colors, and the layout. Which are the alteration for the HTML elements can be done by the CSS. And the next thing is JS. JavaScript is one of the language used in the web development, where it is adding the interactivity for the HTML and CSS. It makes the sliders or it forms the buttons, whatever, to get some response back from the HTML and CSS. We are using the JS. This is what about brief introduction about the web development. And coming to the web development, we are having three languages, as I've said: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And before going to that, just we can look over how what are the terminologies comes into existence in the web technology. Yeah, first one is web. What do you mean by web? It is some of the collection of the data or information about the text or web pages, or it gives some information, it gives the additional information for the users. Okay, in the web we are having many more websites and it is composed of the web pages. In websites we are having web pages, and first look after web pages. What do you mean by web pages? Means it is a document written in the HTML, or it can be done by using the HTML, and it should be saved with the extension of HTML. Okay, in websites we are having multiple web pages, where the web, in simple we can say that website is a collection of web pages. In web pages we are having the HTML written document thing. Okay, and all these together we call as web. Network, this is the quite common thing everyone are known, that is two or more computers that are connected with the one another for the purpose of communicating data electronically. Means by using some electronic devices we are communicating with one another. That's the purpose we are using the network. And for the we are, the next thing is internet is a global network. We are connecting through www, world wide web. This is the thing where we have been connected with the internet across over the world. And here we have using the world wide web. And next the part is, next thing we should see here is how the web works. Coming to this, first the user, we can see a pictorial representation in the slide. First one is user. What it means? The user means we guys or developers will go for the users or the required If you want some additional information means we will go for the some platforms, right? So in the same way, first the user will go for the browser, and the browser, and they will enter something. For example, if I want to look over the pictorial representation of some wild animals, if I click wild animals pictorial representation, that it will go to some many more platforms will be there. First it will the backend work, whatever it is done is, this is the backend structure, whatever it can be done in the browser inside the engine. Okay, first it enters the URL, or it first takes the URL. What do you mean by URL? Means it is a uniform resource locator, and the URL request this DNS server. And or the job of DNS server means is it will convert all the domain names into the IP address. Mainly the uniform resource locator give the domain name as an input for the server, and this server gives the output as IP, and this output will be the input for the server. Okay, this translates the domain name into the IP address, and whatever IP address means internet protocol address, and this server gives the response for the website, and we are going to generate the website there. This is the backend work, whatever it has been done in the web works, right? This is the key introduction about how the web is going to work. Yeah, first, what is the browser? Let's see the definition of the browsers and all the remaining parts. Browser is a client-side application which is used to send request, and if we send the request, we will get the response, right? That is called, we are using the browser. Okay, we are for the Google, we are having a Chrome as a browser, a Firefox, we are having many more browsers, Mozilla, many browsers we are having, and it is left to the us whatever the thing we want to use. Okay, next URL, that's what I have said. It is a uniform resource locator. When we search anything in the browser, the URL will be generated, and this URL will be directly taken to the domain name server, and this domain name server gives the input as the in the pictorial representation we can see this is the theme what it has been going to be done. And DNS, domain name server, it stands for, and it is converting that all the URLs into the IP address. And main thing is HTTP. In the URL we can see, right, HTTPS. We are seeing HTTP, yes, and here is of HTTP. What is the difference between these HTTP and HTTPS? HTTP mainly it stands for hypertext transfer protocol. Whatever the text it is, right, hyperlinked with some other, it is transferring its protocol address. Yeah, it transfers. What is the major difference between HTTP and HTTPS? Means the HTTP, whatever the data or whatever the information is, right, it is transferred in the empty or a plain sheet. But coming to the HTTPS, it gives the security with encrypted format. Means here the HTTPS stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. It transfers whatever the entire data we need in the encrypted data. Encrypted data means it is in the bytecode language. Bytecode language means this is a machine code language which is understood by only the machine, not the human beings. That's this is the reason why our data will be secured here. So each and everyone we are using the HTTPS. And in web pages, we are, as I have said that website is composed of many more web pages, right? In the same way, we are having the types of web pages. What are those types of web pages? Means static web page and dynamic web page. Static web pages means these are the web pages which are common for everyone, but these web pages will display the same information. Means this is common, but it does not give any changed information. For example, the best example is InShot app, news app. InShot news app. If I scroll on the news, I will get only the news. I can't make the changes there. The web page which is not interactable to the users, those web pages are called as static web pages. The best example is news in short app. And coming to the one more type is dynamic web page, and these web page display the different information. Means it is interactable to the users. For example, Amazon, Flipkart, Instagram, each and everything all are dynamic example. For example, if I give some input, we will get response right in the form of output. It is called as dynamic web pages. This the major difference between the static as well as the dynamic web pages. Means in static web pages we can't get the response back, just we can scroll the whatever the information is there, that we can read. But coming to the dynamic web pages, if we give something input, we will get response as the output. That is called as dynamic web pages. All the online shopping platforms are dynamic web pages. And one more thing is, if the static and dynamic comes, means that comes into existence of single page application and multi-page application. And all the dynamic web pages are single page applications. What it means, single page application means the entire web page is built in single page. Means if we scroll on, we will get the, for example, if I go for the Amazon, I will get the sections there: women section, men, cart, we wish list, remove. We will get multiple options. Entire thing is done in the web page. Whenever we go scrolling the page, we will get the detailed information in single sheet. But coming to the multiple web page application, it is hyperlinked with the some other web page. If I click on this single link, it will takes to the next web page. That is called as multi-page application. These are the things where this is the major difference between single page application and multi-page application. In single page application, all the dynamic web pages are the best example for single application, and all the static web pages are application for the multi-page application. This is what the brief introduction about how the browser works and what are the terminologies included in the web, how the introduction part of the web development. And this is a introduction part about the of the web development. So in the further, we can look over the how HTML is going to be worked. Thank you.